What is up, you guys? Today, we're talking about intermittent fasting. The good, the bad, the ugly, everything in between. Let's dive in. What is intermittent fasting? First off, let's clarify what intermittent fasting actually is, because in a nutshell, intermittent fasting is not about what you eat. With this method, you'll fast for longer periods, allowing you to burn even more fat, so you would eat within a 6 or 4 hour window. But personally, I do not recommend the 186 or 204 method for beginners. As the name implies, with this method you fast for 23 hours and eat one large meal in a 1 hour window. Well, when you fast, your body goes through a fascinating process called ketosis. During ketosis, your body converts fat into molecules called ketones that can be used as energy by your cells. There are tons of research studies that show that intermittent fasting can lead to all sorts of health improvements. By limiting the hours that you eat in, you are naturally reducing your calorie intake, which is key for weight loss. When you eat, your body releases insulin to help move glucose from your bloodstream into your cells. It gets rid of old or damaged cell parts and turns them into new cells. This process is important for preventing diseases like cancer and Alzheimer's. And guess what? Intermittent fasting may help reduce inflammation by promoting autophagy and stabilizing blood sugar levels. One study in mice found that calorie restriction, which is similar to intermittent fasting, increased lifespan by up to 80%. But before we get into who should not do intermittent fasting, I want to talk about the challenges, because nothing comes without its challenges. This is because your body is adjusting to using ketones instead of glucose for energy. If you fast for too long without hydrating, you may feel fatigued or but overeating can prevent weight loss and make it harder to stick to your diet. So be mindful of your portion sizes and avoid high-calorie, sugary foods during your eating window. This is because fasting can dehydrate you and lead to low blood pressure. So make sure to drink plenty of water, black coffee or herbal tea during your fasting window. But what about the spiritual parallel? Personally, I am a Christian and I see intermittent fasting as a great opportunity to grow spiritually. Jesus fasted for 40 days and 40 nights in the wilderness. Personally, I think intermittent fasting is a great way to lose weight, improve your health and grow spiritually. But it's not for everyone. It may be helpful if you want to lose fat without tracking calories obsessively, struggle with emotional or late-night eating, have insulin resistance or metabolic issues, or prefer a simple eating schedule. But on the other hand, intermittent fasting is not recommended for pregnant or breastfeeding women, people with eating disorders, those with severe blood sugar issues, or children and teens. And in the Bible, it says that we should deny ourselves and take up our cross and follow Him. So for me, denying myself means giving up things like junk food, Netflix, social media and other things that I know will distract me from God. Taking up my cross means picking up my Bible and studying it, praying and serving others. For me, intermittent fasting is not just about losing weight or getting in shape. It's also about growing closer to God. It's about denying myself and taking up my cross and following Jesus. It can be difficult to fast if you have a busy social life, or if you have cultural or religious obligations that require you to eat at certain times. If you're new to fasting, start with a shorter fast, like 12, or 14-10, and then work your way up to a longer fast like 16-8. Tip 2 is stay hydrated. Drink plenty of water, black coffee, or herbal tea during your fasting window. Tip 3 is eat nutrient-dense meals during your eating window. Make sure to include protein, fiber, and healthy fats in each meal. Tip number 4 is avoid sugar and processed foods. These foods can trigger cravings and insulin spikes, making it harder to stick to your diet. Tip number 5 is listen to your body. If you feel dizzy, weak or unwell, break your fast and eat something. And tip number 6 is do not break your fast with junk food. When you break your fast, start with something clean like fruit, broth, or protein. But it's important to remember that intermittent fasting isn't a one-size-fits-all approach, and you can modify it to fit your lifestyle. But don't worry, these cravings should go away after a few days. But if they don't, then it's probably best to end your fast early. When your blood sugar levels drop, you may feel irritable or have mood swings. But again, this should go away after a few days. And if it doesn't, then it's best to stop fasting early. Now let's talk about who should not do intermittent fasting. First, pregnant or breastfeeding women. There is not enough evidence to say whether intermittent fasting is safe during pregnancy or breastfeeding. So it is best to err on the side of caution and avoid fasting until you are no longer pregnant or breastfeeding. Next, people with eating disorders. Intermittent fasting can be dangerous for people with eating disorders because it can promote unhealthy eating habits and obsessive focus on food and body weight. Third, those with severe blood sugar issues. If you have type 1 diabetes or severe insulin resistance, you should not do intermittent fasting without close medical supervision. Finally, children and teens. There is no evidence to say whether intermittent fasting is safe or effective for children and teenagers. However, more research is needed to determine the effects of intermittent fasting on human lifespan. By reducing inflammation, intermittent fasting can lower the risk of chronic diseases and improve overall health. But if you're constantly eating, your body can become less responsive to insulin over time, leading to high blood sugar and insulin resistance. Intermittent fasting can improve mental clarity and focus by stabilizing your blood sugar and providing a steady supply of ketones. When your blood sugar is constantly spiking and crashing, it can cause brain fog, irritability, and difficulty concentrating. But when your blood sugar is stable, you can stay focused and mentally sharp throughout the day. Additionally, intermittent fasting may boost BDNF, which stands for brain-derived neurotrophic factor. BDNF is like fertilizer for your brain cells. It helps support the growth and development of new brain cells and helps protect against age-related cognitive decline. This condition, called type 2 diabetes, affects millions of people worldwide. But intermittent fasting can help improve insulin sensitivity by giving your body a break from processing food. This allows your cells to become more receptive to insulin, which can help regulate blood sugar levels and lower the risk of type 2 diabetes. In fact, there is a study that found that intermittent fasting was effective at improving insulin sensitivity and lowering blood sugar levels in people with prediabetes as effectively as medication metformin. Additionally, intermittent fasting boosts your metabolism by switching your body into fat-burning mode. And finally, intermittent fasting can help reduce appetite and cravings by stabilizing your blood sugar and providing a steady supply of ketones, which can keep you feeling full and satisfied. Ketones are produced by your liver from the fat you eat, or the fat that your body makes. And once your body starts producing ketones, you enter a state known as ketosis. In this state, your body becomes incredibly efficient at burning fat. And this is because ketones are much more readily available than glucose, which is your body's preferred source of energy. So when your glucose stores run out, your body turns to ketones. Now, I personally follow the 1 meal a day method, but I do not recommend it for beginners. Autophagy is basically where your body recycles old or damaged cell parts and turns them into new cells. It's like a cellular cleanup crew, and this process is essential for maintaining healthy cells and preventing diseases like cancer and Alzheimer's. Instead, I suggest starting with the 168 and then working your way down. This is by far the most popular and easiest for beginners. With this method, you fast for 16 hours and then eat within an 8-hour window. For example, maybe your eating window is between 12 p.m. and 8 p.m. So you would have your breakfast at noon, lunch at 4, and dinner at 8. It's about when you eat. So this eating plan involves cycling between periods of eating and fasting. And by fasting, I don't mean like the religious practice where you abstain from food and drink. I'm talking about a timed period where you simply do not consume any calories. During these fasting periods, your body has time to burn fat, repair itself, and reset your metabolism. There are several different ways to approach intermittent fasting, but here are some of the most popular ones. The first one is the 16-8 method. Another popular option is the 186 or 204 method. The next option is the 52 method. With this method, you eat normally 4 or 5 days a week, and then reduce your calorie intake for 2 days. On the low-calorie days, you would only eat around 500 to 600 calories. This could look like eating a banana, drinking a protein shake, having a salad and an apple for the entire day. Again, this is not for beginners. I recommend mastering the 16-8 first, and then trying this method. The final option is called OMAD, which stands for 1 meal a day. So those are the 4 most common methods of intermittent fasting. But how does it work? Now, another thing to mention is that while you're fasting, your body goes through a process called autophagy. So now that you understand the basics of intermittent fasting, let's talk about the benefits. Benefit number 1 is weight loss and fat burning. Number 2, improved insulin sensitivity. Insulin is a hormone that regulates blood sugar. Number 3, cellular repair. Fasting activates autophagy, which we talked about earlier. This is your body's natural recycling system. Number 4, better mental clarity and focus. Number 5, reduced inflammation. Chronic inflammation is a contributing factor in many diseases, including heart disease, cancer, and diabetes. And number 6, longevity. Several studies have shown that intermittent fasting may increase lifespan and improve health span, which is the number of years you live in good health. So those are the 6 major benefits of intermittent fasting. First is hunger pangs. You may experience hunger pangs or cravings in the first few days of fasting. The second challenge is fatigue or light. The third challenge is overeating during your eating window. It's common to overeat during your eating window because you've been fasting for so long. Next is irritability or mood swings, which is commonly known as hang. And the final challenge is social or cultural eating schedules. So those are the 6 benefits and the 6 challenges of intermittent fasting. So those are my tips. But the big question is, should you do intermittent fasting? Thank you guys so much for watching. And if you liked this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content just like this.